Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Komorebi. Unless Let's Play we did.
You have already experienced.
Okay, it won't let me bring up the thing, but it was like the crime before the storm, or calm before the crime. That's it. And did our first or second heart-to-heart with Isaac, which we talked about our past, but it glitched out, so we couldn't see it. Like, it wasn't a glitch. The game didn't glitch, but it's like story stuff that made it pause or something. So it's like, interesting. New theory? I'm actually a robot made by Argus to spy on people.
Experience heart-to-heart fragment. Dante 2.
Or it could be that we're in some sort of animus thing, which could make sense why we're able to pick these things. Just Argus as people being like, this guy is totally focused on boy kissing. God. Want him to spy, not be a smoocher. Enter the triple R, and my hunger and thirst is immediately apparent. Geez, you really do come to this place a lot. Sorry. It has a distinct smell, but it's a good one. It definitely loosens up the wallet. Speaking of that old expression, I'd be meeting Dante for lunch today. Odd expression? He was the only person I knew that still carried around a wallet. Bit old-fashioned, especially when everything is forced in onto our phones. But I guess it could be useful for something, whatever that could be. Holding pictures. I guess phones could do that too. I eventually found him sitting at the table in the back corner. That's not where I expected to see him. We all kind of have our usual table. But I guess we weren't here as a group. It's just me and him. My one-on-one time has kind of been limited so far, actually. It was nice to be able to see my friends outside of the group dynamic. If anything, stuff like this would only serve to make our group dynamic stronger. He notices me and waves me over. Things get off to a quick start. He's typing away at his laptop in front of him, but multitasking seems to be no issue. Since I wondered about it moments ago, I asked him why he has his wallet.
Most people tend to start with a greeting, Delta. But I guess I'm just too cool for people to follow the rules. And if you must know, it was a gift from my father.
Oh, that makes sense. It's just a relic of a simpler time.
Basically, he told me we should never forget where we came from. I don't really know how a hand-me-down wallet helps with that, though. It might be one of those things that only makes sense to old people.
He laughs before closing his laptop. I guess work was over now.
Sorry about that. You never know when a good idea might hit you. It's a total lifesaver carrying around something I can jot notes in. In fact, I owe a couple of my best-selling ideas to this thing.
Sounds like being a writer's tough. I hadn't even considered the possibility of forgetting your own ideas. But all of a sudden, I'm mad at the thought. I can imagine how much it would suck.
Though, nothing helps as much as this.
He reaches for a cup and takes a large swig of coffee.
My greatest ally. Weaponized caffeine.
More like greatest addiction. Hey, caffeine is not the worst addiction you can have. I should know.
Honestly, I used to hate the stuff. I wanted my day to start when I got out of bed, but all the work just made it harder and harder for me.
I remember Taylor mentioning something different in the nightclub. Something about a contest that turned him into an addict. Addict? Wait. Was it caffeine or coffee? I mean, energy drinks, that's no bueno, you know? Dante immediately blushes, looking away from me.
Gotta be honest, I was hoping you forgot that one. If Taylor is good at one thing, it's embarrassing me.
Is that new CG? CG the word? No, it would be image, but that's cute looking. I've wanted to win contests too. It's nothing embarrassing. Those companies can throw around life-changing amount of money.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. This wasn't a contest for money. The prize was a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Oh, interesting. Like a trip around the world?
You could say that, yeah?
He's being extremely vague. Why is this so embarrassing for him? I tell him that he has nothing to worry about. I won't be judging him.
Fine, but I'm only doing this to beat Taylor to the punch. Something tells me he's just waiting to drop this one on you.
He was back of his head and lets out a nervous laugh.
It was Clace. I used to be a huge fan. Well, I guess I still am, but I really wanted to meet him. He had this brand of energy drink and used it to launch a contest.
Which, again, I think I might have mentioned this before, but is this game a prelude to Major Minor? Because you got Clace. He dyed his hair. He's a singer. And the thing about the first game, Major Minor, is that you're supposed to do an energy drink contest, which lets you be able to meet Clace. It just, that one didn't seem so authoritarian, I guess.
Find the winning can, and you'd get to go on tour with him. I guess I thought that traveling the world with a pop star would be inspiring. I didn't win, though. I just ended up with a crippling addiction to caffeine.
Achievement unlocked. Wonder if anyone will get it. Pretty good reference. Ah, that's the achievement. I didn't realize Clace had his own brand of energy drink. That's pretty extra. So, is the entire idea of the contest to be honest? But on the other hand, I'd drive sales to get him more exposure and give him
Maybe
more.
not tell Clace, though. If he finds out, then he'll know I've been putting on an act. I tried to be all oblivious, like I didn't really know who he was.
Suddenly, a lot of stuff about last week made more sense. At the club, Dante was the first to speak to Clace when we got upstairs. And not only that, but when we were pre-gaming, Dante suggested the music. We got ourselves a secret fanboy, don't we? Now, is that him talking or us talking? Print screen. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. I'm going to bug you about this every day. Oh, if only I could roll back. I think I could roll back in that other game. Winds of Change. But not so much this game. I think it's stretch time. We'll be a good boy.
Thanks, Delta. I knew I could count on you. But I think I saw people start to turn and look. Maybe we should change the subject?
What, like right now or at the club? Right, Clace requested that we offer him privacy while I was here. Like, how good are their ears? Though I guess they do have big pointy ears. At least Dante got what he wanted in the end. The chance to meet somebody he admired. I sit and wait, deciding to let him come to me whenever we talk about whatever we talk about next.
Well, last time we talked, I remember I was working on my book. You'd be happy to know that progress has quite literally exploded. I guess it was only a matter of time before the floodgates opened. That's kind of how I operate, though. I could go months without working, and it'd be no big deal. But once that ball is rolling, I have no problem making up for the lost time.
I'm pretty sure that it's common for people who make their own hours. As long as you get the job done, he's free to handle it however he wants.
Suddenly, that 12-month deadline doesn't seem too bad. In fact, I've even started thinking about what I want to do next. There's a whole world out there, and I've been locked in a room.
Oh? Think about traveling the world?
Maybe one day. But I gotta start small. I was actually thinking of reconnecting with some family. Believe it or not, my life doesn't fully revolve around Isaac.
Really? He fooled me.
Though I'm starting to think that yours might. I mean, he told me that you two are gonna try dating. That probably means you'll be getting closer to me, too.
Doesn't bother me. I could actually handle both of you, because I'm a huge hoe. More friends the merrier. No problem at all. I'm afraid we reached my snarky friend quota actually. Oh, god damn it, Clace. I want to do that. Like, when I originally did the demo, I was flirting with a bit of everybody, but it was mostly going for Isaac. But now I'm just like, okay, do I want to be a complete hoe? I need to replay Winds of Change and be a complete hoe. Craptacular. And I can't just roll back. Let's be a hoe.
Oh, really? Well, handle away. You know, you're starting to remind me of Taylor. And I don't mean that as an insult. This time. Probably.
He strikes a thinking pose for a few moments before speaking again.
Right, back on track. I remember telling you that I basically grew up in a library. Well, I meant that literally. The librarian let me stay there when I needed it, so when things got rough at home, I'd just go get lost in a good book. But things at home kind of got worse as time went on, so before I knew it, the library became my entire life. They sheltered me while I learned to read and write. I can definitely look back and say it was worth it, but at the time, it definitely seemed like the worst thing ever. I wrote a bunch of woe is me stories to attempt self-pity.
So he keeps his dad's wallet. Like, was it like they just really didn't get along with each other and divorced? Or was one of them or both of them an alcoholic or drug addicts? Potentially dead?
Eventually, some of them found their way into anthologies. That was the first step. People kept saying how good my stuff was. I got an agent to help me with all the publishing offers that came my way. But that's the thing. I've been working ever since. Haven't had much time to take care of Dante things. But after this next book, my whole life is wide open.
What happened in the library sounds like it could be pretty awesome. I wish it could have happened without the issues back home.
Bet you didn't expect me to be a runaway, huh? A lot of people don't. They act surprised or shower me in sympathy, but I don't need any of that. I think I'm doing really well for myself. Do you think that too, Delta? I mean, I feel like I've accomplished quite a bit, maybe enough for my family to let bygones be bygones.
No, usually when I see that last word, bygones be bygones, is he trying to make up for something with his family? I'm sure they're counting down the days until you call. You accomplish a lot. It's kind of infatuating. I'm sure they'd be happy to reconnect with you. Because that's just being flirty, all just... Maybe I'll just replay this game and be a complete hoe? Let's not be a complete hoe. Let's try to be a bit realistic.
You really think so? It's been so long. We're all going to be different people, but you know what? I think that's what we've needed. Change. Of course, I need to finish this book before I do anything major, unless any impatience gets the better of me, which it will. Either way, I just hope you'll have my back.
I nod, and tell him he's right. I'd always have his back, especially now that he's opening up to me. It's weird. I learned more about him in one sitting than ever before. A runaway novelist who grew up in a library. A fractured relationship with his family, and a renowned biography. I really need to do something with my life. Yeah, I feel that.
Well, I gotta say, thanks for the chat. I hope we can do this again, maybe on New Year's Eve? You have 4 midnights after all. If I don't get one, I'll be offended.
Smooches. He smirks at me, and our time at the Triple R has come to an end. He's right though, because of the quantum leap, I have 4 midnights. And not only that, I have 4 new friends: Isaac, Taylor, Dante, and Clace. What about Chiron? Things are definitely gonna be interesting on the 31st. Achievement unlocked. Okay, let's do a quick save. And then go back and... Oh, right. They did an update where they actually gave you more save slots. Because I was like, wait, did I just overdid that? Because me and I guess a bunch of other people were like, hey, we'd have to assume other people, unless Clace was like, yeah, we need to push this game out and figure out more save slots here. But it was like, why only have 5? I absolutely hate games that do that. Maybe if I hold down? Oh, there we go.
Sorry. Oh, my greatest ally. Weaponized caffeine. Honest.
How about weapons grade caffeine?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You could say that. If fine. Maybe not.
Is he more bouncy? Okay.
Thanks, Delta. But
He gets more bouncy.
suddenly that 12-month deadline is maybe one day. Though,
Starkey Francoda.
trust me, I have a lot more to offer than that. Play your cards right, and maybe you'll find out one day. I don't think Isaac would mind. In fact, I know he wouldn't.
Are you talking about your penis?
Right back. I remember telling you that I basically grew up in the library. Well, I meant that literally. The librarian let me stay there when I needed it.
Experience heart-to-heart fragment.
Home, I just go
Taylor
get
2.
lost in a good book.
Is he in the Animus now? So, new background? New background. Boy, this is a nice place, though I guess he is a very popular Stoimo. As soon as I enter Taylor's house, I'm taken aback. It's a night and day difference compared to Isaac's. You can tell that he's on cutting edge. Everything is so modern. Mleb. But I guess it had to be. I'd imagine a streamer needs to stay current. There'd be all sorts of trends in the field, just like any other. Whatever he was doing, though, he was doing it right. It's nice to be somewhere other than the Triple R, though. All my other meetings and outings seem to revolve around that place. But here I was, in Taylor's home, just like we planned at the nightclub.
Well, what do you think, Delta? This is my castle, my pride and joy. And even better, I made it with no middleman.
Middleman? Yeah, because you like being the one in the middle. Super successful. It is kind of extra. You went way too overboard. Middle.
Wow, you know me so well. Why not settle for the best of both worlds, right? Little bit of each is clearly the best way to go.
Now, I was kind of thinking of him taking it from both ends, but would he mean that he's bi? I mean, could be. They didn't say that the main character was a one or the other person.
And if you're lucky, maybe I'll let you take part. I hope my intentions were clear enough when I invited you over. Been eyeing you since day one, and I'd like to think you took notice.
I'm a hoe. He smiles at me before quickly changing the subject. Pointing to the table, I noticed 2 plates of food. I was actually starving, so I appreciate it.
2 Taylor specials, an absolute classic. So, what do you say? Want to take a seat?
On my lap. It's gonna be hard to eat, though. Maybe if you bend over a bit. I nod, and we move over to the couch. I look down at the plate, and I'm not sure what I see. Whatever a Taylor special was, it was certainly unique.
It's pretty simple, actually. Your favorite chicken sandwich smothered in honey dill sauce. And if you're so inclined, a slice of provolone to top it all off.
Okay, provolone's cheese. There could be vegan cheese, but unless it's like... what do they call it? Impossible chicken or something like that. Does that mean that... I mean, in Clay's universe, I don't think there's any avians, so... yeah. Like anthro-avians, birds. Chicken sandwich. Is that lore-friendly? Oh. Is that another fourth wall thing?
To what lore, exactly?
I'm not sure how to respond. I stare at him with a blank expression, then shrug.
Anyway, it's best if the bun is brioche, and the sauce is mayo, honey, and dried dill.
Why is he listing the ingredients like I'm on some sort of cooking show? Oh, is it?
Well, you never know how many people are watching. Might as well let them know how to make it themselves, right?
Watching? Is he streaming right now?
Nope. Anyways, let's dig in.
Because it would be... Because I was like, can we talk about him being the middleman and stuff like that? He starts to eat, almost comically fast, like a cartoon character. I'm told I eat fast. This seems to be extremely unhealthy, but also kind of delicious. What, eating fast or eating or the food we're eating? With his size, Awww, I doubt he eats like this too often. It must be special to him, so I decide to follow suit. And... it's the best thing I've ever tasted in my life. The sweet and savory sauce, with a hint of dill. The sharpness of the provolone, the crunch of fried chicken. It's a symphony of flavors, in a perfect harmony with one another. And he's right, the brioche bun really brings it all together.
Save this one for special occasions, Delta. You don't want to wear it out. Trust me.
Oh, I'm a special occasion? I'm surprised that I've never heard of this sauce before.
It's actually a well-kept secret from where I used to live. Remember how I said I used to move around all the time? Every province has its own thing, so I have a lot of fun recipes. But this one always takes the cake. I'm a little sad that I stopped moving around, actually. Discovering regional things like this was always so much fun.
Well, you could stop your usual streaming and become one of those streamers that travels. And he didn't say he moved around a lot. Ask him if he's comfortable elaborating, and he smiles. It doesn't appear to be a touchy subject, which is nice.
Well, I told you the system always kept me mobile, right? I was always in a foster home, or a group home of some sort. Depressing stuff. Kept causing fights and getting into trouble, so they kept moving me around. They always said it was about location. Like, there was some magical place that had changed my life. Little did I know, it was Toronto. But not because of the city. It was my friends.
Do we live in Canada? Taylor? Getting into fights and trouble? I guess that makes sense when I actually stop to think about it. I vaguely remember talk about how Taylor was a jerk for fun in the past. But the implications of foster homes and group homes worried me. That definitely seemed like a touchy subject, so I avoid it. Are we going to talk about Numi as well? You know, the puppy from Major Minor? I'm just happy that he finally found his calling and place in life. After we finish eating, he turns to face me while sitting down. I do the same, and we share an awkward smile.
I'm sure you can understand. You've changed since you got here too. We're better together than we ever were apart, and it's a beautiful thing. I can't believe I used to push people away instead of embracing them. That would have made my vision come to pass for sure. Got a little tired of that thing having power over me. It wasn't really substantial, but it still kinda sucked.
His vision sucked? This is the first time you mention it, if I recall correctly. I tell him not to elaborate unless he's comfortable doing so.
Oh, it's really nothing. In fact, it almost feels abstract. I can't see anything at all. It's almost like complete darkness. All I know is that I feel lost and alone, knowing there's no one that cares. And that's it. I just jolt back into consciousness. Pretty stupid vision, if you ask me. It's not useful at all. I beat it, too. I know that was the old me. Not this version.
Yeah, this is Taylor 2.0.
If I kept pushing people away, then I'd end up alone for sure. But now I have the best friends in the world, and the best fans. I guess mine was kind of a wake-up call, but that's pretty normal.
Do you want a hug?
I'm far from the first guy who's made some changes due to their vision. Sometimes I wish there was a little more to it, you know? Some grand destiny to seize, or some extravagant life.
I tell him that he's already had his own. No vision required. He already had that on his own. He has one of the highest sub counts in the world, and kills every stream. Or he has, the highest Dom counts, if you know what I mean.
I guess it makes sense when you put it like that. From the outside looking in, I guess it must seem pretty impressive. But when you live it, every day is just like the last. It can lose some meaning. Even people at the top of the world are chasing their next big thrill. The things we dream of having can just fade away in the face of our next big goal. It's why I like to keep my life fresh and exciting, so nothing gets boring over time.
I can understand that. From what he said, he enjoys having multiple sexual and romantic partners. All of a sudden, that lifestyle seems a bit like an act to defy his vision. If he was always with somebody when the lights were out, then he'd never be by himself. The sniffer smirk he gives me at that exact moment only reinforces my thoughts. Always joking about how the whole group should date. I understand even more. He just doesn't want to be alone.
Anyway, I didn't mean to get all introspective. I actually just invited you over for some fun. Like, fun. It probably sounds shallow, but it's been on my mind since we met.
Now, you mean fun or fun?
However, after getting to know you, I've changed my mind. So an arrangement like that isn't something I'd just jump into. I value your friendship, Delta. But I'm open to some benefits.
Yeah, I can get that. Where, personally, if I felt like I was attracted to somebody, but not, mentally or something like that, I would just kind of want to fuck him. But if I liked them both physically and mentally, emotionally, I'd like to get to know them before, jumping their bones. This is all so on brand for Taylor that I'm not even surprised. This is the guy that flirted with me a second after meeting me. With everything he said, I figured he was just after this all along. And I know Isaac would be fine with it, even if we were dating. We even said back on our first date at the RRR, just to set a standard, if I did this before doing that one, would that change this? But I'm getting ahead of myself here. I should answer Taylor's question. Friends with benefits? And possibly the option for something more?
What do you say, Delta? No strings attached. But rope? Now that's a different story.
I think we should stay friends. You think that'd be the upside down thing, but let's be somewhat a hoe.
Glad to hear it. Really, I am. But just so you know, I didn't want to do it right now. This was just to break the ice and share a special meal. I want our friendship to be just as important as anything else we do. But New Year's Eve is coming up, and that's always a romantic night. Go out with the others, and you'll have a date for every midnight.
What about Chiron? He gives me a soft smile, like he's more comfortable all of a sudden. I guess if he was thinking of this, he was thinking this ever since we first met. It had been on his mind a lot.
I'm glad we could clear the air and figure out what's going on. How about we just relax now and enjoy each other's company? Ooh, I could show you some of my big career highlights too.
We're going to do a stream. I smile at him and tell him that I'd love to do that. It's important to learn about the content my friends create. If we all support each other, there's nothing we couldn't do. I'm also grateful that he didn't want to rush into anything. I value his friendship as well, so it didn't make sense to jump right into stuff. It's nice to know that I was valued in return. I'm definitely close to him than before. And because of that, I'm sure he'd find a future that's fully free from the darkness. Achievement unlocked. Oh good, I was like, it's the morning, I've had 2 mugs of coffee. So I'm like, well, I need to go to the lavatory so I can lavatorize. Go use the potty. Wait. That's kind of odd. Him there, him there. But whatever. So, end of this Let's Play. So, comments, guys, like comments, tell me what you like, dislike, tips. Otherwise, if you like me, YouTube, and like to grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos to help grow. Please remember to spay near your ammo stock, control the pet population. There was that smell in my nose again. And until next time, me, GamerWolfSix of Komorebi. So thanks and see you.